Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest edition of St. Joseph's Prep Baseball here at Germantown Academy, where the 0-1 Hawks will be taking on the home squad in Germantown Academy. For today's broadcast, I'm Ryan Sullivan, joined by my color analyst, Ryan Connaughton. Ryan, how we doing?
I'm ready for a great game. I mean, Prep baseball team is looking good, looking ready to start this game. They're looking hyped. I mean, Kieran Ludwig on the mound. I'm ready for a great game, Sully.
I definitely am as well, and we will be getting into the game. I apologize in just a few minutes, and here at WSJP we do apologize for no video in this one. Our camera is just giving us a lot of problems here in today's contest. So if we can get that up and running, then we will bring the video version of this game to you guys. But for now, you will get an audio broadcast here on WSJP. And we should be getting ready to get into it in just a moment now, as St. Joe's Prep will take on Germantown Academy. And batting first for your St. Joe's Prep Hawks, it will be John Sittler, the starting shortstop here for St. Joe's Prep. And here we go. We're getting right into it. Actually, 3 minutes before the game was scheduled to have its first pitch, but we're starting it anyway. First pitch here to Sittler, swing and a miss. And that'll be the first strike today. And for Germantown Academy, pitching will be the junior, Sean McGintigan, I apologize there. And it's 0-1 to Sittler. And this one a bit low, 1-1. Sittler this year, not the best start in 3 at-bats, no hits in the first game against Devon Prep. But here is the 1-1, and that's in there for a strike. It's 1-2. Ryan, how can Johnny Sittler get back into this count? Or in this at-bat, I should say.
Make contact with the ball. I mean, he's a very fast player. Even a ground ball, he has a high chance of beating it out. I'm looking for a very aggressive approach in this Hawks offense. But again, Johnny Sittler, the way of getting out of this 2-strike count is to put it in play. When you put the ball in play, good things will happen. And with his speed, something great will happen.
And that last pitch was fouled off. So it will remain 1-2 here with no outs in the top of the first inning. It's a bit sunny, a lot sunny than last week. Obviously, the Prep did not have the greatest performance against Devon Prep, but here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. Johnny Sittler goes down on strikes. And up next for St. Joe's Prep, it will be Emilio Inacone, the catcher. And he was able to knock a hit in the last game against Devon Prep. One of the 4 hits the Hawks had in that game. And now the first pitch to Inacone. A bit high. Ball 1. Inacone actually led the JV squad in hits last season. Here's the 1-0. And Inacone hits this one into right center for a base hit. And the Hawks get on base for the first time today. And yes, you do love to...
Just pure hitting.
Yes, you do love to see that from St. Joe's Prep.
Just pure hitting.
Yes, great hitting. And now here is Robbie Grasso for St. Joe's Prep. And actually last game, Grasso was tagged out at the plate to end the game against Devon Prep. So a bit of an unfortunate turn of events, but he is up now with 1 out. And he hits this one to first, and it is caught. And a double play. What a play made by the freshman, Nate Knapp. Able to double him up here in the first inning. The Hawks get an unfortunate turn of events, but we will turn to Kieran Ludwig for St. Joe's Prep, the starting pitcher. Ryan, what have you seen out of him so far this season?
He's a strike pitcher. Closer for last year. Made some starts, but I like him. I think he's a great pitcher. Definitely knows how to pound the strike zone. I'm ready for a quality start out of him today.
And we will see if he is able to do so. Obviously, the Prep, they had an opportunity in that last at-bat, but unfortunately for them, not able to do anything. Obviously now the Prep, a bit of a huddle before we get into the bottom of the first inning here at Germantown Academy.
One thing out of this Prep offense that I noticed in that first inning, if they get a pitch to hit, they're going to hit it. We saw that on the Emilio Iannacone hit, and we saw that with Robbie Grasso. First pitch swinging, unfortunately got unlucky and lined out to the first baseman for the double play.
Yes, an unfortunate turn of events there for the St. Joe's Prep Hawks, but they look to get the bats back up in the second inning. But for Kieran Lodwick, he is actually committed to Scranton, for those who didn't know, for pitching. And obviously,
Academy.
Yes, and obviously with those big expectations on his hand, he looks to have a good start here, or a good first start of the season for him, and he's warming up currently. He looks pretty good, obviously. A good connection with Emilio Iannacone, as they are a bit closer in age. I believe last game, Emilio and Chris, they were a bit off, I guess you could say. Chris was kind of waving off a lot of pitches Emilio was calling, but nonetheless, not a bad game as pitch for Grasso, definitely, as he only gave up one run, but we'll see if Kieran can fare a bit better in this one. And Emilio making his way to the mound, and the infield going to have a talk with their starting pitcher. And we will start here in the bottom of the first inning for St. Joe's Prep, leading off. And a bunt actually leading the leadoff man, Charlie Wetzel. It will go foul. And it'll be 0-1 here. Wetzel, in 4 games played this season, a 154 average with only 2 hits on the year, but has hit a triple this season, so we'll see if he can get a lead off here for Germantown Academy.
But we did see that bunt first pitch of the game.
Yes, so now we'll get the 0-1 here from Lodwick. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And now Lodwick here up in the count, 0-2. We'll see if he can get it done here on this pitch. Here's the 0-2, and he hits this one foul. Wetzel's staying alive here at the plate. It is 0-2. Lodwick, seeing if he can get him here. Likes the pitch. Throws, swing, and a miss. Strike 3 called. A bit of a high one, but Kieran Lodwick gets his first strikeout of the contest. And up next for Germantown Academy will be the freshman Cooper Wilson, who has played absolutely incredible this season. In 5 games played, he has a .57 or 5.357 average. I'm sorry for the mispronunciation there. First pitch, 1-0. Wilson with 5 hits this season, 1 run batted in, and 4 walks as well. As he now the 1-0, and that one almost looked to be in there, but called a ball. It's 2-0. I don't think Iannacone liked that call, but gonna have to deal with it anyway. It's 2-0. And this one a bit high, 2-1. I'm sorry, 3-0. And Lodwick trying to just get a strike in there. Here it is, the 3-0, and that one in there for a strike, 3-1. Lodwick trying to get back into this one here. 3-1, quick pitch here from Lodwick, and he throws that one in there for a strike, 3-2. Lodwick, here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging in the dirt. Lodwick, his second strikeout of the game and his second strikeout of the inning.
It's a great start for Kieran. 2 strikeouts against definitely 2 solid hitters.
Definitely, and you love to see it here. First pitch for Lodwick is a swing and a foul tip back by Lucas Albert, the junior. 5 games played for him, a .444 average, 8 hits on the season, and 2 runs batted in. Here's the 0-1. And a bunt here, and this is a good bunt. Lodwick trying to make the play over at first. He's not going to be able to get it there. And an infield single. Or a bunt hit, I guess I should say, for the speedy junior Lucas Albert. And there is still 2 outs, though. And up next for Germantown Academy will be Tyler Nolan, the senior. 5 games played for him, a .333 average with 5 hits on the year. First pitch to him a bit high, 1-0. Looks like Lodwick is pitching those ones that are a bit high on the outside corner. Albert taking a pretty nice lead. We did see his speed, though, come out in his bunt. Here's the 1-0. Swinging a foul tip.
Yeah, Sully. I think this Germantown speed will definitely come in hand. We saw 2 bunts in the first and third batter. I think we prep defense should look out for that more.
Infield might be playing a bit in, or they might be playing in the future when Albert comes up to bat next. But it's 1-1 here to Nolan. And Lodwick throws it back to first, and
it's a smart move.
Safe there.
Keeping your runner on the base.
Definitely. I think Albert was trying to steal on the foul tip.
He's getting a lengthy lead.
Definitely is, and now the 1-1. Finally going to see the 1-1 here. It's a Nolan. Here it is. And this one a bit high again. 2-1.
Quick pitching to make sure Albert doesn't steal.
I'd like to see it, and now the 2-1 here from Lodwick. Nolan doing a good job checking the plate as he's not swung at much. He's not definitely swung at the high pitches. Here's a 2-1 and a steal from Albert, but this is going to be fouled off. And Albert is still running as he was trying to go to third. I'm not sure what he was trying to accomplish there, but obviously couldn't accomplish much off the foul ball. But nonetheless, 2-2, 1 more strike, and Lodwick gets out of the inning. We'll see if he can do so here. The 2-2. Here it is. And that one outside, 3-2, full count.
Albert again looking for the steal, but stayed back. We know Emilio has a cannon, so he can throw out Albert.
Emilio did get 1 runner. The steal on him in the Devon Prep game. We'll see if Albert can do so. You would have to think he's going to steal here because it is a 3-2 on 2 outs. And that's what he will do. 3-2 and a swing. Hit to second. Play made.
Oh, but Jack Keenan was not on the
stepped
bag.
out. The play was there to first, but Keenan was not on the bag. That is a shame there.
You can't blame Jack for stepping off. That's a very difficult play for Nolan Morowski, the second baseman. If I'm Jack, I would have stepped off too. Told him to hold the ball, make sure it doesn't throw an error and advance his runners.
So now 2 runners on, and up next for Germantown Academy, Alex Myers, the sophomore. 5 games played, a .333 average for him, 4 hits on the season. And that one almost looked to be in there, but called a ball. It was just right at the elbows.
Yeah, that's a very questionable call, Sully.
And it's now 1-0. Lodwick trying to get out of this inning here. The 1-0. That is definitely high. 2-0. Lodwick just pitching a bit high here to start this game, but he has gotten a few strike calls and a few swing and misses as well. See if he can do so here. The 2-0. That one outside, ball 3. And Lodwick potentially could have bases loaded here just in the first inning.
Yeah, you don't want to walk the bases loaded. 2 outs, though, so all you have to do is get out of this inning.
Here's the 3-0. That one in there for a strike. It's 3-1. That one was right down the plate. And Lodwick, you got to get out of this inning here. You don't want to give up an early run. But the Prep bats definitely seem to be doing well in the first inning. But here's the 3-1. That one outside. Or actually, no, it's going to be in there. 3-2. The umpire originally looked like he was going to call a ball, but ended up calling it a strike. Myers definitely thought it was a ball. But now the full count here to get out of the inning for Lodwick.
3-2 count. Runners will be moving.
Definitely. And they will. Swing. Hit to short. Sittler fields it cleanly. Play made over at first to end the inning. Kieran Lodwick does give up 2 base runners, but it doesn't matter. He gets out of the inning, and the Prep will come up to bat here in the top of the second. We'll take a break here on WSJP. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. We're back here on WSJP for the top of the second here of this game between St. Joe's Prep and Germantown Academy. Hitting next for the Prep will be Dylan Pantalino. Or Palatino, I apologize. And he was one of those guys to get a base hit in the last game against Devon Prep. In 2 at-bats, he does have 1 hit. See what he can do here. Here's the pitch. And a swing. This one hit to third. Fielded cleanly. Play over at first made. And it was a nice play there by Jude Gibbons over at third to make the play. 1 out here in the top of the second. Up next for St. Joe's Prep, though, will be Jack Keenan. And in 3 at-bats last game, no hits for him. Ryan, though, what did you see in that Palantino bat? Because we didn't really get to see much there, though.
Definitely an aggressive approach. First pitch swing. Fortunately, ground ball to third base. I did say Prep will be taking very aggressive at-bats in this game, hoping to get more hits than they did against Devon Prep, and they already have 1, so.
The first pitch was fouled off there by Jack Keenan, and now here is the 0-1, and another foul tip, and he swung a bit early, Keenan. It's 0-2.
Keenan's definitely looking like he wants to swing out of his shoes.
See if he can do so here on the 0-2 count, as he is down substantially. Ryan is right. The Prep has been very aggressive here to start this one. The 0-2. Keenan hits this one into center for a base hit. And Keenan might be thinking, too, he is not going to go. He holds up about halfway there, but a base knock for Jack Keenan, his first hit of the season.
Swinging on 3 pitches, swinging at all 3 pitches. That third one luckily leads to a hit. Great at-bat from Jack Keenan.
Definitely, and now hitting up next for St. Joe's Prep will be Chris Steintmez. And no hits for him in 2 at-bats last game, but the Prep do have a man on with 1 out here. Steinmetz takes this first one for a strike. That was in there. That was kind of like right near the gut of Steinmetz. And now the 0-1 coming. It's taking a long time here to pitch, and the 0-1, and Steinmetz was thinking bunt, but it is a bit high, so it's 1-1 now. And Magatsigan does have a 1 ERA in 2 appearances this season. Here's the 1-1 to Steinmetz, about to. This is Steinmetz might want to think about stepping out of the box here, as the pitch is just not being thrown, and timeout. Timeout called is
still on the mound standing
is
there.
just, yeah, he just
Wow.
stood there for an extra,
Trying to get in the head of
he
Steinmetz, but
stood there for an extra, 5 seconds. I didn't know if I was hallucinating or something. I mean,
looks like something Max Scherzer would pull.
yeah, I don't know if I was hallucinating. I don't know what was going on, but nonetheless.
It definitely could be with the base runner on the...
Possibly, and it might have gotten into the head of Steinmetz as he swings a bit early. It's 1-2. Here's the 1-2. That one high. 2-2 now. Steinmetz has not swung at much in this at-bat. It's definitely been very picky, but it has led to a decent start in this at-bat. The Prep would like to get another base knocked, possibly drive in a run. Here's the 2-2. Steinmetz takes that one. Strike 3 call down the plate. Steinmetz goes down looking. Now 2 outs here in the inning. And up next for St. Joe's Prep, Pat Veza. Got 1 hit in 2 at-bats. Last game against Devon Prep. Is going to need a hit here to possibly drive in Jack Keenan. We'll see if he can do so. Again. First pitch. That one inside. But it is going to be called a strike. 0-1.
Yeah, definitely a questionable call out of the umpire, Sully.
And now the 0-1 to Veza. Here it is. That one high. Ball 1. 1-1 now. And now Veza, a lefty, does have the advantage as Magatsigan is a righty. Here's the 1-1. That one high. Ball 2. And the Prep, you have to be thinking, a walk is just as good as a hit, and it would get Jack Keenan in scoring position. So let's see if they can do so here. Here's the 2-1. Veza swings at this one, hit to third, and it's going to be a base hit. Keenan will remain at second, so 2 runners on for St. Joe's Prep with 2 outs here remaining in the top of the second. And now up next for St. Joe's Prep will be Nolan Morawski, the second baseman.
3 hits already for St. Joseph's Prep.
And Morawski, he
quality at bat from Patty Veza there.
And just like
the lefty taking it to the opposite field. Sorry to cut you off.
Nah, it's all right. And just like last inning, Germantown had 2 runners on with 2 outs. The Prep now have it. Here's Nolan Morawski. He does not have stats from the last game. He was not in there, but he takes this first one for a strike. Morawski, though, he could definitely get in that lineup if he is able to, or remain in that lineup, I guess I should say, if he is able to get a base knock and possibly drive in Jack Keenan from second base, who is...
Time is called.
Yeah. Keenan is taking a big lead. Timeout, though, is called by Morawski. Encouragement from the St. Joe's Prep dugout to Nolan Morawski as it's 0-1. Again, looks back Keenan. Swing and a foul ball by Morawski, and now he's down 0-2.
Aggressive at bat, Sully.
We've seen that as a theme throughout this contest for St. Joe's Prep. And now the 0-2, Morawski in his stance. And it gets again. He really takes his time. Something that we've noticed here. Once again, looking back, Keenan, the 0-2. Morawski hits this one to second. Play made over at first to end the top half of the inning. St. Joe's Prep, 2 base hits, but not able to turn it into a run. The Prep, they go down in the top of the second. Germantown Academy will be up next. Ryan, in the first 2 innings here at Germantown Academy, what have you really seen from the St. Joe's Prep at-bats?
Very aggressive. Definitely looking to get more hits in this game. Already with 3 through 2. But still, aggressive looks to be the key of this game. But that big righty on the mound, not getting in their head, but firing them in the zone. Also getting some generous calls behind the plate.
And how can the Prep really turn these pretty decent at-bats into runs?
Putting the ball in play. They put the ball in play 3 times, not 3 times now, but they've been putting the ball in play, and they've gotten some runners on already. I think if you limit the outs, then some runs will score. They're proving that they can hit this pitcher. Now all they need to do is put some runs on the board.
See if they can do so. Lodwick out there for his 2nd inning of work. And warming up with Ina Cone. Heineken goes out to talk to Lodwick before the start of the inning. And now we will start. First pitch from Lodwick is hit high in the air. I cannot see it at all.
Yeah, I lost that too, but that will get over the head.
It is lost by Jack Sayer, and a double to start the inning for Germantown Academy. I couldn't see it, and I sure said.
Yeah, the sun definitely played a big factor in that hit.
And definitely Jack Sayer cannot see it as well.
Came in, but got over the head of him.
And Lodwick, not a bad start. It was hit right to Sager. It's just he couldn't find it in the sun. So now Lodwick is going to have to
very unlucky.
Make do of what he's got. Keenan moving in. It's going to looks like it's going to be a bunt here, and it will. And a great bunt here. Nobody covering first, but somebody is. And now Grasso not able to get it to Morawski. A run will score, as Nate Knapp will come in to score for Germantown Academy. It is 1-0.
You hate to see it, Sully.
Germantown.
Very unfortunate.
And the drop ball from Morawski gave Knapp the impression that he could go home, and he got the right impression there. And now up next for Germantown will be Braden Fornicola. In 2 games played this season. 5 at-bats, but no hits, but a walk, though. He has scored 1 run this season. And now he tries to get another run here for Germantown Academy, as it is 1-0. With no outs in the bottom of the second. First pitch of the at-bat, and this one will be hit to short. Can get a double play here to second and to first. The Prep make the double play from Sittler to Morawski to Keenan.
Definitely much needed after that little bunt RBI.
And now if you are the Prep, you can breathe a little bit, but you still want to try and get out of the inning here.
Yeah, definitely.
Up next, George Pederellis. And in 4 games played this season, a 3.75 average. And first pitch to him is called for a strike. The 1-0, and that one's in there for a strike. It's a quick 0-2, and Ludwig has a chance to get out of the inning. Let's see if he can do so here. Another quick pitch, 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 called. Ludwig gets out of the inning, but the damage is done. 1 run scored for Germantown Academy. We will go to the 3rd inning here at Germantown Academy. We'll be right back here on WSJP. Don't go anywhere. We're back here on WSJP where Jack Sayer will lead it off for St. Joe's Prep, and we're going to get right into it here. First pitch to Sayer. Was thinking about swinging, but it is a bit low. 1-0.
It's a great take. Looked like a changeup there. Looked like it was in the zone for most of that pitch, but then just dropped right below.
Second pitch here to Sayer. That one a bit low again, but good placement. Strike 1. And now the 1-1 here to Sayer. That one low again, 2-1. Sayer doing a good job taking pitches here in this at bat so far. Here's the 2-1. That one in there for a strike, 2-2. It's been ball strike, ball strike. Let's see if we get a ball strike or possibly a hit. Let's see if we can do that. The 2-2 to Sayer. That one in there, strike 3 called. Got him looking. Sayer goes down on strikes. And it'll be 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Up next for St. Joe's Prep, Johnny Sittler.
Yeah, that fastball looks to be McGettigan's key pitch in this game.
And now Sittler, his 2nd appearance here in this game. And that one a bit high, 1-0. Seems like the pitches are either high, low, nothing really in between, but some have been called balls, some strikes. And now here's the 1-0. And that one hit very high. The sun is in the way of it, but it does go behind the Germantown dugout. It's 1-1 now. If one comes over here, we're in trouble because
I'll catch it.
I would definitely trust you to, as I can't see for anything right now. Maybe our producer Anthony Correa will catch it for us. And now here's the 1-1. And Sittler takes that one for a strike. He thought about swinging, but did not go around. Nonetheless, it is a strike anyway. 1-2 now. I think Sittler would want that one back. Here's the 1-2. That one in there. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. It looked like the same pitch. 2 strikeouts here in the inning for McGettigan. And Here's Emilio Inacone. He got a hit in his first at-bat. We'll see if he can replicate that here. And now, first pitch here to Inacone. That one,
Taking high.
Yeah, a bit high, 1-0. Most of these pitches have been high, but those last few to Sittler were very decent.
Yeah, they looked very good.
And now the 0-1, and it is a swing and a miss for Inacone. 0-2. That was a good cut, but he's not able to put the ball on the barrel of the bat. And we'll see if Inacone can get back into it here off the 0-2. And he swings and hits this one to short. Going to be a tough play, but it's fielded cleanly. And a
drops the ball.
Drop ball by Nate Knapp, the freshman. And Inacone gets in to first on an error.
I think Knapp definitely focused more on the tag rather than catching the ball on that last play.
And it will be a pinch runner here for St. Joe's Prep. Kyle Allman, the junior, will replace Inacone as Inacone steps out. Has to get ready for that next inning of work. And here's Robbie Grasso now. One of the Prep's best bats. And now he takes that first pitch for a strike. It's 0-1. Grasso.
After looking at that one, I think that might be the best pitch of the at-bat for him.
Grasso did not get a hit in his last game. Did not get a hit in his last at-bat. We'll see if he can get one here. Here's the 0-1. Grasso. Oh, I thought they were going to call that a strike. I was about to say it, but the umpire calls it a bit low. It's 1-1. Allman leads off first. And he's going to steal. But Grasso going to hit it to second, and that's going to get in there for a base hit. And Allman is going to stop at third. The Prep have runners on the corners now with 2 outs remaining in the inning, and it looks like nobody was really covering the second base spot for Germantown as Grasso just
That's perfect hitting by Grasso.
Definitely, as he just hit it right in the sweet spot and just hit it soft enough as well where Allman could make his way to third, but the Prep now have to convert with runners on the corners. And up next for St. Joe's Prep will be Dylan Palantino, and he grounded out to first in his first at-bat on the very first pitch. Let's see if he does so here, and this one taken for a strike. It's 0-1. And the Prep, it would be a shame if they could not get a runner here, as this is the first time of the second time of the game you have had a runner on scoring position. First time you had a runner at third. Here's the 0-1. Palantino swings and misses. Went a bit early. It's 0-2.
0-2, 2 outs. Got to put the ball in play. Got to poke it out in the outfield somewhere. Score this run.
Maybe hit it right into...
Continue the inning.
Maybe hit it into left where the sun is just absolutely
killer.
Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a killer indeed. And now the 0-2 here to Palantino. And Grasso stealing, and Palantino fouls this one off. It's still 0-2. Palantino just has to stay calm in this at-bat, getting some encouragement from the St. Joe's Prep dugout. Let's see if that encouragement can turn into a base knock, possibly. Here it is, the 0-2 again. Grasso stealing, and Palantino takes this one, and it was a gutsy take, called a ball. Grasso steals to second, and now 2 runners in scoring position. Ryan, the pressure's on for Palantino.
Yeah, definitely.
And now the 1-2. This is a tough spot to be in, but a base knock would probably drive in 2 runs. Here it is, the 1-2. Palantino fouls this one off again. This at-bat feels like it's going on forever, but it could possibly, this is really just going to end in whoever makes the first mistake, to be honest with the audience, and that's what it's all just going to come down to.
Definitely putting up a great battle. If he puts the ball in play, could definitely score 2. Grasso does have insane speed.
And this one in the dirt, 2-2. Almond was thinking about stealing home, but does not do so. It's now 2-2. There it is. A few balls so far now. Valentino now has a better chance in the count, and he hits this one high in the air. This one, I kind of covered up as I had no clue where it was going, but it stays within the confines of where we will be safe. And
yeah, it drops right in front of us.
yeah, I'm a little scared of the sun, but
Palantino battling, fouling off good amount of pitches.
see if that could turn into anything here. As St. Joe's Prep fans would hopefully hope that there is a mess up here by again, and now the 2-2. Palantino hits this one
right
into
up the
center
middle
for a base hit. Almond scores. Here comes Grasso. He will score, and St. Joe's Prep take the lead, and Palantino will also advance to second base.
That's great hitting by Palantino. Fouling off, battling, not getting out of this inning. And then lasering one right up the middle, scoring 2. It's great hitting by Dylan Palantino, the senior. You love to see it, folks.
That's how you do it if you are Dylan Palantino. That bat went on forever, but it results in a hit. And now St. Joe's Prep with a 2-1 lead in the top of the 3rd inning. Up next for St. Joe's Prep, though, will be Jack Keenan. He has a man on second. Got a hit in his first at-bat, and this one will be hit high in the air, and it will go out of play. Got a lot happening here.
So you have to guarantee that this Prep team is definitely hyped up after that one.
Yeah, you heard the dugout, and you heard everybody here on the St. Joe's Prep side of things. That everybody was very excited for that Palantino hit. I think they'd be even more excited if Keenan got a hit, though. Here's the 0-1. And Keenan takes that one for a strike. I was about to say it was a bit high,
generous.
right there on the elbows of Keenan. And now we'll see if he can face the adversity here and try and get another base knock. It would be his second hit of the game. Here's the 0-2. Keenan takes that one a bit low. Good placement, though. But the umpire will not fall for it. It's 1-2. Keenan getting encouragement from his dugout. Last time that there was encouragement, we saw a base knock from Palantino. Here's the pitch. Keenan fouls this one off again, and it's still 1-2. Last time, Palantino did a great job staying alive, kept his composure, and it resulted in a base hit. Keenan can definitely do so. Palantino, while he has great power, we've also seen the speed come out of him as he did almost get the first on that first ground out he had of the game. And it's still 1-2 here for Jack Keenan. And gets again, looks back, trying to look back Palantino twice, and the pitch is a bit wild, or the throw back to second is a bit wild. It goes into center field, but Palantino will not get a chance to steal. He looked him back twice, and if the catch would have been made at second, I think they possibly could have gotten him out. But they are not able to do so, and now Keenan will still have 1-2 here in the top of the 3rd inning. Gets again, looking back. Palantino twice again, but here's the pitch. That one not in
called
there for
strike
a
3.
It is called strike 3 as the catcher tried throwing it back to second, but it doesn't matter anyway. Strike 3 called. That will end the inning, but a lot of encouragement from St. Joe's Prep to Palantino as he knocks in 2 runs in the top of the 3rd inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Ryan, what a great inning for St. Joe's Prep. How can they keep that going?
I mean, we saw it with Dylan. We saw it with Keenan. You got to battle off those strike calls. Not getting out of the inning. Getting runners in. Just great at-bats from them both.
It definitely was. And Germantown Academy. Obviously, they had the lead, but now they're down. How can they get back into this one?
I mean, that double definitely came into play with the Sun. But the Sun seems to be going away now. I think finding a way to hit Ludwig would definitely help them. I mean, he has been letting up some base runners, but then he just comes back and shuts them down. He's been dominant in this game. But if they could just get runners on, like they did with that double, and then find a way to score him in with bunts. I said bunts would come into play, and it definitely did with an RBI in that second inning.
We'll see if they're able to do so as Ludwig gets ready for his third inning of work here at Germantown Academy. And you see the warm-up guys coming in for St. Joe's Prep. Meeting it at the bump from the infield, and they will move back out there. And hitting up for the Patriots will be Charlie Wetzel, as he got a hit in his first at-bat, and he takes this one for a strike. A bit off speed there for Ludwig. We haven't seen a lot of those throughout this contest, but maybe see a little bit more here in the third. And that was a fastball, and that one is hit to center field. And the play is made for the out, and there is one out in the inning.
Looks like he lost that again in the Sun, but able to come down with it in the end.
And now one out for Germantown Academy, as it was a promising hit, but nothing came about. And up next will be Cooper Wilson. And Ludwig, first pitch to him will be a bit on the outside, 1-0. Haven't seen an off-speed pitch since that first pitch in the Wetzel at-bat, but maybe we'll get one in the next few. And now this one fouled off, and that one goes into the woods, and that guy's going out there to chase it. Good for him. Lots of commitment there. Got to give him credit. And
Yeah, definitely.
Now it's 1-1.
That ball might be a lost cause.
Yeah, maybe. And this one a bit high, 2-1 now.
Ludwig definitely looks to be attacking the strike zone, limiting his balls. And if they're balls, they're definitely close.
Yeah, these ones have been a bit close, and this one fouled off again. It's 2-2. Wilson fouled off 2 of his strikes. And we'll see if he can stay alive here, though. Here's the 2-2. And this one high again, 3-2. And now the 3-2. And this one hit into left. Play is made for the second out of the inning. And
I thought that was going to be a little bloop single, but got to give credit to Vesa coming down with that in the end.
Yeah, Pat Vesa there in left field able to make the play, and it's now 2 outs in the inning. I apologize, right field. And first pitch here is inside, 1-0. Up next for Germantown Academy will be Lucas Albert. Saw the speed in his last at-bat. He takes this one low, 2-0, as Ludwig not really giving him much in the strike zone, as he don't really want to let him on base. Here's the 2-0. And that Albert hits this one into center for a base hit. And Germantown Academy gets a runner on with 2 outs. Albert with a really good start in this one. 2 hits for him. And Germantown Academy with a runner on. We'll see if that can turn into anything. Though the Prep did have 2 outs last time they scored a run, so we'll see if history repeats itself. Up next for Germantown Academy, Tyler Nolan. Feel a bit of a breeze coming in. Here's the first pitch outside. Yeah, it definitely has been a hot day here in the city of Philadelphia. Now it's 1-0. Throw back to first on Albert. That was very close. Very, very close, but he is safe, though.
Very debatable call.
Could have gone either way. We don't have instant replay in high school, obviously, but anyway.
Sadly.
Sadly, indeed. And now, the 1-0 to Nolan. That one, again, I want to say on the outside. It might have been a bit high as well. I don't know, from our angle, it's a bit hard to see. But anyway, it's 2-0.
I feel like I've said that. I feel like I've said this too many times. It's a very generous call.
Just letting them play. Want to get some entertaining at bats, I suppose. And now here is the 2-0. And that one in there for a strike. It looked like Nolan was about to go around, but didn't do so. It cost him there.
Yeah, he's definitely going to regret that later in this at-bat.
Kind of see the look on his face. And now the 2-1. Lodwick trying to look back Albert here. And he is going to steal, but he's going to get caught. Keenan gets it to Morawski, who tags him out. Oh, I'm sorry, he gets it to Sittler, who tags him out. And that will end the inning. Great heads-up play there made by Kieran Lodwick to end the inning. St. Joe's Prep, they lead 2-1 here as we go into the fourth inning. We are halfway through this game here at Germantown Academy. We'll take a break here on WSJP, but we'll be right back. We're back here on WSJP, and the first pitch to the batter now, which will be Chris Steinmetz, is called for a ball. And the 1-0 to him in there for a strike.
I believe that was a strike.
Yeah, I don't really know what was the call there. Is the umpire's looking around for the ball? I don't know what's that. I don't actually know what's going on.
As the ball, a piece of the catcher's glove came off, I guess.
Yeah, I don't. So hopefully the umpire can tell us the count here.
1-1 count.
I would. Yeah, I think.
For Chris Steinmetz.
Yeah, 1-1 count, and Steinmetz takes this one a bit high. 2-1 now. And the 2-1 now to Steinmetz. Here's the pitch. And that one on the outside, 3-1. Steinmetz has an opportunity to get on here. With no outs, be good for the Prep. Steinmetz hits this one into shallow right. Play is made for the out. first out of the inning. And up next for St. Joe's Prep will be Pat Veza, the right fielder.
Base hit in the last at-bat?
Yes, base hit in the last at-bat for Pat Veza.
Oh, yeah, poking it the other way.
And he fouls that back to start this one. And now here is the 0-1. And that one hit to second, fielded cleanly, and the out is made at first. 2 outs in the inning. But the Prep have made solid contact. Lucas Albert, or I'm sorry, not Lucas Albert. That is Cooper Wilson, the freshman, making the play over at first. And up next for St. Joe's Prep, Nolan Morawski. See if he can get on with 2 outs in the top of the 4th.
Sully, the Prep has proved that they can hit off of this pitcher. Just need to do it more often.
See if they can do so here in the top of the 4th. Morawski takes the first pitch low, 1-0. And now here's the 1-0. Morawski takes that one in there for a strike. Lots of pitches that the Prep have taken have been down the plate. They have been very, very picky so far with their pitch selection. And we'll see if Morawski does swing. That one taken a bit low, 2-1 now. And now Morawski will foul that one back. It's 2-2 now, and trying to protect the plate as I mentioned, very, very picky on his swings. Morawski with a bit of a chest bump with his fist as he tries to get himself hyped up. Try and get a base hit here as he would like to keep this inning alive. Try to keep the bats hot. Here's the 2-2. And that one hit to third, fielded cleanly. Play over at first is made, and that will end the top half of the inning. Germantown Academy, stay alive here. Don't give up any runs. Lots of contact made by St. Joe's Prep, but Jude Gibbons, the third baseman, ends the inning. Ryan, a big inning coming up here for Germantown Academy. After this, if you don't get anything here, you only have 2 more opportunities. How can Germantown Academy really get the bats going with Ludwig getting deep into this game?
Yeah, if you want to get back on this game, you have to score now. This prep offense has said that they can put up runs when they want to. But Jude Gibbons ending the inning, very, very nice play, very difficult one too. But if they want to stay in this game, they have to score. They have to at least tie it up now. Because I do feel some runs coming from this Prep offense next inning because they are making good contact. But, yeah, as I said, I'm saying it again, you have to score now. Now's the only time that you really have. Or you can try and hold off this Prep offense once again, but that's going to be tough.
We'll see if they do so. Ludwig is in his 4th inning of work here. Has given up a couple base runners, but has been solid for the most part. As his 1 run, you could say, came off of a bit of luck because of the fact that, Sayer couldn't really see the
double.
Couldn't see the ball in the sun, and then obviously the
bunt,
the drop ball by Morawski over at first, and there, a lot went wrong in that inning. But other than that, Ludwig has been very solid, and this could possibly be his last inning of work. We did see in the game against Devon Prep, Chris Grasso came out after 4 innings after only giving up 1 run. Eddie Dingle came in the game and it threw an incredible last 2 innings. We'll see if the Prep go to the bullpen here, if Ludwig can get out of this inning cleanly. But up first for the Patriots will be Tyler Nolan, and he swings and misses on the first one.
Great pitch by
it's
Kieran.
0-1. He got him to go all the way around there, as that was a good one there, and it's now 0-1.
Definitely making the batter look crazy on that, silly on that last pitch.
And Nolan hits this one near our way, and I don't
Just
know.
over our head.
Just over our heads, and my heart kind of dropped there, but nonetheless, it's 0-2. Coach Muff screaming out orders to his outfield, as I don't know if the audio can pick that up, but we have some great audio here at WSJP, and here's the 0-2.
Indeed, we do.
Nolan takes that one a bit high and on the outside, 1-2 now. Lodwick, he tends to throw a lot more pitches on the outside when he's up in the count. But here's the 1-2 now. And he swings and misses, gets him to go in the dirt. Inacode makes the play over at first to Keenan. Another strikeout for Kieran Lodwick as he got Nolan to swing in the dirt there.
Yeah, Ludwig, another case of just making the batter look silly. A very silly swing, getting him to chase a ball in the dirt. Looks like he's going fishing.
And up next for Germantown Academy, Alex Myers.
Myers with a double in the second inning and was able to score on that double.
First pitch here, taken for a ball. And now here's the 1-0. Myers hits this one into deep center. Play made. What a play made over in center field. Chris Steintmez, as he had to run far for that one, but he makes the play, and it's the second out of the inning. And now Lodwick has an opportunity to get out of this inning cleanly. See if he can do so here. First pitch, swing and a miss for the Germantown Academy batter, that being Nate Knapp. First baseman for Germantown, and now here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss again, got him to swing low, it's 0-2. And now here is the 0-2 to get out of the inning. That one on the outside just a bit. 1-2 is, all right, as I've mentioned before, Kieran throwing a lot of pitches on the outside when he's up in the count. Let's see if he does so here. The 1-2.
Yeah, definitely looking to get the batter swinging. We saw that with the first batter, getting to chase the ball in the dirt. I think that might be his bread and butter in these 0-2 counts. In the dirt, low and away. Looks to be looking away now.
And a
Away
swing.
from the lefty.
Or was a foul tip? The last pitch was a ball in the dirt from Lodwick, by the just to inform the audience. But that one was a bit, I believe, foul tipped by Knapp. And well, anyway, here is the 2-2, and that one in the dirt again. 3-2. Inacone can't find it, as he did get a bit shaken up on that last pitch. I think it hit his knee or something around there. As even with those pads on, it's tough when you get hit in the knee when you play catcher. The 3-2, the payoff pitch to end the inning. This one hit to Keenan, and he will unassistedly make the play over at first to end the inning. St. Joe's Prep gets out of it cleanly. Kieran Lodwick, 4 innings of work, only 1 run given up. St. Joe's Prep up 2-1. We will take a break here on WSJP. 2 innings remaining here at Germantown Academy. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. And we are back here on WSJP for the first batter of the inning, Jack Sayer for St. Joe's Prep. We'll see if he can get a leadoff single here. And again, still in the game. Sayer hits this one into center. That drops for a base hit. And Jack Sayer gets on the very first pitch. And that will bring up the leadoff man, Johnny Sittler.
Sayer, definitely a speedy batter. Looking for a steal out of him while he's on first. But that's great hitting. I mean, this Prep offense definitely stepped up their game since the performance against Devon Prep.
And now, Sittler now up for St. Joe's Prep. Trying to get some more insurance runs here in this contest. Infield moving a bit in. Sittler swings and misses on that one. 0-1. A good cut, but he just swung a bit high. And now Sittler takes this one low, 1-1. Sayer giving a pretty decent lead, a lot bigger than what we've seen from other batters, not named Lucas Albert. And Sittler takes that one on the outside, 2-1. Sittler doing a good job protecting the plate, though. As I've mentioned, Ryan mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, the Prep is very aggressive. Now it just seems like they're being very picky with their pitches. And throw back to first. Sayer is safe. Gets in there pretty easily.
Definitely expected that, but Sayer's going to be tough to stop.
Right. He's taking a very big lead there. I think it's making the crowd over here a bit nervous. But the 2-1 in there for a strike. It's 2-2. As that was kind of the pitch we saw last time, where it was a bit on the outside, but this time it is called a strike. And now here's a 2-2. Sittler takes that one low, 3-2. I think Sayer was going to steal, but Sittler held him up and just put his arm up there and said, "Don't steal." But anyway, 3-2 here. We'll see if Sayer does steal. I doubt it. There is no outs in the inning. The 3-2. Sittler takes that one low, ball 4, and the Prep have 2 runners on. Sayer goes to second with no outs in the inning, and up next, Emilio Inacone, who has been one of the Prep's best hitters so far this season. A hit already in this game, a hit last game, and we'll see if the day is done for Magentagan. Or Magetagan, I apologize.
Just did the same thing. Magetagan?
I believe so. And they will leave him out there.
They will leave him in.
They'll leave him out there. We'll see if
Emilio Iannacone looking to prove that that was a mistake.
he has
Already
been,
one hit against him.
He has been one of the, I guess you could argue, the best hitter in these last 2 games, Ryan.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
Led JV last year in hits.
Right, I know Palantino hit the RBI, but
Yeah, the 2 RBI single.
Inacone has been great too, and he's showing bunt here. The infield moving in. See if he changes his mind. And yeah, Magentagan just going to step off the mound. Lots of things happening there, lots of shifts and all that, but we'll do it again.
Infield definitely preparing for a bunt.
See if that happens here. Is that
Iannacone looking to move them over.
That gap in between third and short is very open. Inacone not
takes
able
ball
to bunt
1.
there. He takes the first ball. Once again, showing bunt. Very interesting tactic here, and he takes that one for a strike. See if Inacone continues to do what he is doing, which is bunt. And yes, he's going to continue to try to bunt here. Just trying to advance those runners. Very interesting strategy from Coach Muth and St. Joe's Prep. And he is able to bunt there. All runners will advance. Inacone out at first, but Inacone gets the job done, and that will bring up Robbie Grasso.
You'll have to see how much that this team needs to really lays down a bunch just to advance the runners into scoring position. Let's go, Robbie! Now one of the better hitters, Robbie Grasso, up to the plate.
And we'll see if Grasso can drive in these runs. Grasso, the proverbial third hitter for St. Joe's Prep, and that just tells the audience that that's who the coaching staff thinks is the best hitter. And Grasso takes that one a bit high. I think you could tell he really wants to hit this one as he is shaking up at the plate, and looks like he was about to swing on that last one, but you have to not really play hero ball. You just got to try and drive in these runs. A base hit can drive in a run here.
A base hit can definitely drive in 2 runs. Sittler is probably the fastest on the team.
And Sayer, you could definitely say a close second as well.
Yeah.
And Grasso does swing in the dirt on that one. It's 1-1.
Grasso definitely looking to send this one to the moon.
And Grasso fouls that one off 1-2 as he definitely wants a hit here. Has not gotten one yet this season, that is definitely sure to upset him. We'll see if he can get it done here. Umpire cleaning off the plate. Grasso, the 1-2. He still has the bat out in front of him. Now he finally gets into his batting stance. Here's the 1-2. Grasso takes that one low, 2-2. Good placement, though.
Good at bats again from this Prep offense. We saw that earlier with the Dylan Palantino and the Jack Keenan at bat. Both able to get on base.
And now 2-2. Everybody here at St. Joe's Prep on the side of the Prep getting a bit nervous here. The 2-2 to Grasso. He hits this one into right.
That will score Sayer, though.
Sayer is going to tag up, and Sayer will score. St. Joe's Prep get another run. It is 3-1. Robbie Grasso gets the job done.
Definitely some good insurance.
And the Prep get what they need to get done. But now you have Dylan Palantino is up, and we know what happened last time he took the plate, Ryan. A base knock into center, which drove in 2 runs, and he can get an opportunity to get his 3rd RBI of the game by driving in Johnny Sittler. We'll see if he can get the job done here, as I think a lot of people have some confidence in him here. The Prep, though, they do get an insurance run, as again does not really like the ball. He's throwing it back and forth with Gibbons. Calls being barked out to Sittler. He has a ginormous lead at second. That's kind of been a theme here in this one. Palantino takes this one high, 1-0. Again has an opportunity to get out of the inning with just only giving up 1 here. See if he can do so. The 1-0. Palantino fouls this one off, 1-1.
Sittler was unable to tag on that fly ball. Definitely a shocker.
I was kind of surprised he didn't tag on that one, but it could have been a call from the coaches.
Definitely.
But
that does make Palantino's job a little bit harder.
Definitely, but we will have to see if he can drive in this run.
Palantino was able to score someone from second.
And throw back to second. It is dropped.
If he caught that could have been close.
That would have been close. Sittler gets in safely. And now the 1-1 here to Palantino. Here it is. Swing and a miss. 1-2. A good cut, but just swung a bit too low. Again has an opportunity to get out of the inning here.
Palantino did do this the last at bat. Got the pitch count up, did battle off some pitches that could have put him away.
Let's see if he can do the same thing here. It's 1-2. Sittler being looked back. Here's the pitch. This one hit to second. Nice play. And the play is made over to Knapp at first to end the top half of the inning. The Prep, though, they do get one off the Robbie Grasso fly ball. And a tag up from Jack Sayer. We'll go to the bottom of the fifth here. And Kieran Lodwick will once again come out for St. Joe's Prep. And, Ryan, they're not going to their bullpen.
Is that a good move? I mean, Kieran has proved to be the dominant pitcher in this game, putting away a good amount of batters. But also, you have to take into consideration the amount of base runners he has allowed in this game. But I think last inning, keeping Kieran is the right move. Kieran
Definitely.
Striking out a good amount of batters. He's been I think this is a good decision from the coaches.
And a switch here, actually, for St. Joe's Prep. Chris Grasso, who was the starting pitcher in the last game against Devon Prep, will go over to shortstop for Sittler. So that will end his day. But Chris Grasso getting the opportunity to play right next to his brother, Robbie Grasso. Seen a lot of brothers this year play together, Ryan. We've had the McKees, the Grassos, and it's just the year of brotherhood at St. Joe's Prep.
St. Joseph's Prep is always a brotherhood of its own. But yeah, definitely blood brothers. That sounds weird, but biological brothers.
Not at all. Not at all. But anyway, the Prep will not go to their bullpen. They will keep Kieran Lodwick out there, as we know, but the Prep, they don't really have much of a reason to take him out, I guess you should say, because of the fact that we brought up how his run earlier, was a bit of just luck not going in his favor.
A strand of luck, yeah.
Luck not going in his favor, but let's see if he's able to get out of this inning now. And here's the first pitch. That one in there for a strike.
Definitely a good first pitch, proving to the coaches that he deserves to be out there for a little bit longer.
See if he can continue to do so. That one in there for a strike again. 2 off-speed pitches. Haven't seen many of those, and now 2 strikes. Lodwick trying to get it done. Here is the 0-2. Fouled off to
Sounds like it hit the batter.
It might have, but it was also a foul tip, so the obvious.
Off the hands.
Yeah, so it will be a foul ball call to Givens, the junior third baseman. And
ooh.
That one taken for a ball. Ryan, I heard the ooh.
That could have been strike three called.
I don't think the Prep dugout really enjoyed that, but they don't make too much of a fuss over it. Here is the 1-2. Lodwick takes this one low. 2-2 now. Or, I'm sorry, Givens takes that one low. Lodwick, here is the 2-2. That one hit high in the air, in the infield. Keenan will make the play for the first out of the inning. And Lodwick, once again, just going to stay out there.
I did see Chris Grasso warming up. That could be for his change at shortstop, but St. Joe's going to the bullpen is no.
You don't really need to be honest with you.
Yeah, I know. Kieran is still proving to be dominant in this game.
First pitch low, ball 1 to Braden Fornicola, and 2-0 now. That one taken a bit high. Here's the 2-0. And he takes that one high again. That was a bit questionable. Ryan, I saw the face you made.
Yeah, this umpire has given some generous calls to both sides.
Yeah,
but
definitely. Always call it both ways. And here's the 3-0, and Fornicola hits that one to center, and it will drop for a base hit right in front of Chris Steinmetz. And first hit of the inning for Germantown Academy. That is 3 hits overall in this game. And up next for Germantown Academy, it will be George Pederellis. First pitch to him in there for a strike. Lodwick trying to get out of the inning here as the tying run is at bat.
Cooper Burkholder warming up in the bullpen for Germantown Academy.
And throw back to first. In there safely. And now swing and a miss. Got him to swing in the dirt. Was Ludwig. It's now 0-2. One more, and you can kind of breathe if you're St. Joe's Prep. Here's the 0-2. Never mind. It's going to be throw back to first, and safe again. Ludwig definitely did a good job faking there as it looked like he was going to throw the pitch, but now he will do so. Here's the 0-2. That one high, and Inacone will look back.
Threaten a back pick to first.
We'll look back for Nicola to first, and now Pederellis.
That's smart defense by Emilio.
And now here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Got him to swing a bit early. Kieran Lodwick, his first strikeout of the inning, and 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 5th. And up next for Germantown Academy will be Charlie Wetzel. First pitch here. That one hit high and fouled off. Lots of those foul balls going near the woods, Ryan.
Yeah.
That one there didn't necessarily go into there, but I'm not trying to. I don't know. I'm not trying to go in there and get one of those myself. But it's 0-1. And Wetzel hits this one to third. Grasso fields it cleanly. Nice play over to Keenan to first to end the inning. And you hear the uproar of cheers from the St. Joe's Prep side as they still lead 3-1 as we go into the top of the 6th. We'll be back here on WSJP in just a few moments. We're back here on WSJP for the top of the 6th inning, where Jack Keenan will come up for St. Joe's Prep, and a change here for Germantown Academy. Yes, Cooper Burkholder will come out to pitch. And first pitch here to Jack Keenan is inside for a ball. And here is the 1-0 to Keenan. And actually a fun fact about Cooper Burkholder. This kid is in 8th grade. Pitching on a varsity game, relieving, down to St. Joe's Prep in the top of the 6th inning. That shows the faith that they have in this guy. 2-0 to Keenan. That one in there for a strike.
Have in him.
Yeah, the coaches definitely must have a lot of trust in this guy. And here is the 2-1. Keenan hits this one into left center. Play is made for the out, and Keenan
looked like the left fielder was having trouble out there.
Yeah, Keenan.
We saw that the Sun had a problem in the double earlier, but he's able to come down with this one.
And be the first out of the inning. And also about this guy, Burkholder. He also hits as well. 7 at-bats this season, 1 walk, and has a hit, which had a hit with 3 RBIs, a double, and a swing and a miss here to Chris Steintmez. So this Burkholder, he can really do it all, it looks like. And now the 0-1 to Steintmez. And Steintmez hits this one into left field for a base hit. Steintmez gets on with 1 out. And up next will be Pat Veza. And Ryan, I forgot to mention when I was talking about brothers. I mentioned the Grassos, the McKees. I completely forgot about the Colberdinos.
Yeah.
And I apologize to Roman and Simon about that. I really do on this broadcast. I really do apologize for that. But yeah, they still, regardless, the year of brothers in all 3 major sports. Baseball, basketball, and football. Here's the first pitch, and stealing is Steintmez, and he is out. It really wasn't close, and there's now 2 outs in the inning. And regardless, it is 0-1 to Veza. I think Steintmez also ripped his pants, like it's part of his knee. And that one in the dirt. Didn't even make it to the plate. 1-1. And now here is the 1-1 to Veza. That one in there for a strike. It was a bit low, but good placement. And now, here is the 1-2 to end the inning for Burkholder. And Veza hits this one fouled off up the first base line.
Yeah, definitely a good outing for the Burkholder, the 8th grader, in a varsity game against some of the best players in the state.
Definitely. And now here is the 1-2. That one in the dirt. 2-2 now. And Veza does have a base knock in this one.
Veza put up a good at bat in this one.
Yes, and now we'll see if he can get the
job
done.
Off pitches.
See if he can get the job done by getting a base hit here. Here is the 2-2. Veza hits this one.
Chops one over to first base.
First, and the play is made over at first to Burkholder to end the top half.
He almost beat that out.
Yeah, Veza almost did beat that out. Just shows the speed and the depth of speed, I guess you should say, here on St. Joe's Prep. But the 8th grader, Cooper Burkholder, gets it done here in the top of the 6th. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th, where Cole Kuhn will come out for St. Joe's Prep. Now, for those of you that know, I have my own podcast with Cole, the CR7 podcast that takes place every week live on WSJP. So, how do I not be biased here, Ryan?
Yeah.
This is my guy. Like, I don't know, but make sure you do listen to the CR7 podcast. You know what? Every time that Cole comes up the pitch, I can plug my podcast. I mean, this is great. He's one of WSJP's own. Has been on one of the first LaSalle game as a color commentator, and we're seeing his first appearance here in a St. Joe's Prep uniform, well, for the varsity team, that I should say, outside of when he was in Florida, where he did have five strikeouts in the
3 innings
in
pitched.
in one of the games.
3
in
shutout
Florida.
innings.
Yes, that is true, and pitched a great game there. As no other substitutions made, just Grasso in the last inning, but Cole now will come out and see if he can shut down Germantown Academy in possibly 2 innings. And what do I call him? Do I call him Kuhn or do I call him Cole? Because I call him Cole all the time. I don't know. This is tough. I should have thought about this beforehand. Well, then again, I kind of...
Oh, no, there is a substitution. Danny Matthews moving to left field for
that is true. Good catch, Ryan.
Jack Sayer.
Good catch, Ryan. I did not see that.
Yeah.
As Matthews, this is his first appearance this season. We did not see him in the game against Devon Prep, so we'll see how he fares out in left field. As I was actually talking to Cole's dad before the game, and he seemed hyped up. He seemed ready to go, but I could see him watching now.
Yeah.
And now, up next for Germantown Academy, and
First
before
pitch.
I get into that, a base hit from Cooper Wilson, and first pitch is a base knock.
Taken the other way. It's good hitting by Wilson. But it looked like he was late. Drove it in the right field.
And now, Germantown Academy trying to get on the board here, get back on the board, I guess I should say. Kuhn delivers. And that one in there for a strike. Took the umpire a bit to the side. And it's 0-1.
Good pitch by Cole. Attacking with that fastball.
Definitely got him a bit low there, but right at the knees, I would say. And now here is the 0-1. And that one a bit high, 1-1 now. Feel a bit locked in myself. I feel like, I don't know.
You and Cole have some brain connection.
I guess you could say that. And Cole steps off the mound.
Telepathic.
I guess you could say that. And now it is 1-1 after Cole steps off the mound. Cole waves off the first pitch, nods to the second, called by Inacone. Here it is. That one low, 2-1 now.
And Tommy Murtha moves into second base.
That is true. We saw Murtha in the last go-around against Devon Prep. And he steps in for Nolan Morawski. That one a bit low again, and it will be a steal for Wilson, as Wilson
looks to take third base, but the ball goes out of play.
Yeah, it looked like the ball did go out of play there. And it will just be Wilson advancing to second. It's now 3-1 with no outs remaining and a man on second. As the coach for Germantown Academy, I'm not necessarily sure, had a bit of an issue with something. I'm not necessarily sure, but we'll resume play here. It's 3-1, and Cole will try to get back into this count here. Here's the 3-1. That one low, ball 4. Two runners aboard. Lucas Albert takes first. And now up next for Germantown Academy, it will be And will actually be Eddie McGett again, so we'll see how he fares when it comes to hitting. He has had 4 appearances this season at the plate, 1 walk, no hits. And we saw him in a few innings of work, giving up 3 earned runs. So we'll see how he fares in the batting department in this contest. And the bunt here, and now a wild pitch, all runners steal. And now runners at second and third, and it's 1-0 to McGett again. And third base coach going out to talk to McGett again about this at bat, as I'm sure now they would definitely want to see a bunt. The infielders not really moving in. Grasso just in front of the grass, and there is a good pitch by Cole. It's 1-1 now.
Cole moves into the windup with runners on second and third.
Here's the 1-1. That one in there for a strike. 1-2. Cole Kuhn getting back in this at-bat. Getting back in this count, I guess I should say. And now, the 1-2. Cole waves off Emilio's first suggestion. And here's the pitch. 1-2. That one in there. Got him looking. Strike 3 called. Cole Kuhn, his first strikeout of this game.
First strikeout in PA.
Yeah, that is true. First strikeout of the season.
In prep history for him.
And prep varsity history, I guess you should say.
In PA.
All right, we'll say that. We'll agree to disagree. Up next for Germantown Academy, Alex Myers. And Myers hits this one foul. 0-1 is. Did that hit somebody? I think
it did hit
oh
somebody.
God. Now it's just making me even more nervous, man. And Kuhn and Einekone just have a brief conversation, as Kuhn has been put in a bit of a sticky situation.
Second and third, 1 out.
Here's the 0-1. Kuhn a bit high, 1-1. Lots of fastballs we've seen from Kuhn, and they are.
Definitely.
I've seen it.
Cole does have a good slider and a good sinker.
I've personally seen him throw in the.
Seen him myself, yeah.
In the 80s. And here is the 1-1, and this one inside, 2-1 now.
Sinker inside.
2-1 now to Myers. Once again, runners at second and third. 1 out remaining, or 1 out so far in this 6th inning. And this one hit high into center. Steintmez makes the catch. Runners are going to tag. One run will score.
Hit the cutoff, Jack Keenan.
And it will be 3-2 St. Joe's Prep, but Germantown Academy is able to get a run in. So 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch in this at-bat for Kuhn, outside, 1-0. Cole likes the second suggestion that Emilio gives him. There's the pitch. That is in there for a strike.
Very solid pitch by Cole Kuhn.
And now here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Got him swinging. 1-2 now.
We love to see one of our own doing good in a baseball game.
Definitely. And let's see if he can end the inning here with just 1 run given up. Cole doesn't like the first 2 suggestions. Likes the third. The 1-2. Here it is. Outside.
Cole wants to just punch this kid out.
He wants to get the finishing touches on this one. Kuhn 2-2. Here it is. And that one, I believe it hit him, and I don't think the run cannot come in. Albert cannot score, so Kuhn a bit lucky there, as it was in the dirt. So it kind of lucky that it did hit. that he did hit him, as Albert does not have the opportunity to score, though, there. Kuhn with runners at the corners now. This one high, 1-0. Once again, still 2 outs in this inning. 1-0. Kuhn looks back to the runner at first. We have a steal. Inacone gets it to Grasso, and he is safe at second. Definitely a interesting call there, as there was actually no slide, but it was a really good throw by Inacone over to second, and it's now 1-1. One from Kuhn. Here it is. Swing and a foul ball from Gibbons. Kuhn just trying to get out of this inning, as Ryan mentioned. 2 outs now. The 1-2 coming in from Kuhn. Here it is. It is not going to be called a strike. The Prep are absolutely flabbergasted.
Sully, that looked like
that
it was right down the middle.
Yeah, that was a questionable one. And now, here it is, fouled off, but it is 2-2. And now the 2-2. Here it is. That one high, 3-2.
They messed up. Pitch looked like it was right down the middle, but
3-2 in there, got him looking, strike 3 called. Cole Kuhn gets out of the inning with only 1 run scored. Germantown Academy leaves 2 on as we go into the last inning of this game. It is 3-2 St. Joe's Prep. I'm Ryan Sullivan with Ryan Connaughton here on WSJP. We'll be right back. Up next here for St. Joe's Prep, Tommy Murtha, as we get into the last inning of work, and Burkholder still out there for Germantown Academy. First pitch, that one fouled off, and a good cut by Murtha, but it was just fouled back. Swung a bit too late.
the 8th grader's definitely a solid pitcher if the coaches are going back to him down by 1 run in the top of the 7th. 1 inning left to work. Got to put some insurance runs.
And now here is the 0-1. Murtha takes that one for a ball. It was a bit off speed. And definitely a gutsy take there, but pays off for him in the end. 1-1. Here is the 1-1. Murtha takes that one for a ball. Check swing. He didn't fully go around, though. 2-1 now.
Sully, this team definitely looks really good today. Looks a lot better than they did against Devon Prep.
Definitely, and that one taken a bit low. 3-1 now. Murtha taking some very, very gutsy takes, but they have paid off for the most part. 3-1 now. Chance to get on base here. Here it is. Murtha hits this one. Foul. Full count now here. Definitely a good cut by Murtha. I think he tried to say.
Did that scare you, Sully?
No, not really, because I thought it was actually gonna be a base hit. I was ready to say that, but it went foul. Here's a 3-2. Murtha hits this one
Right back up
into
the
center
middle.
field for a base hit. Tommy Murtha, his first hit of this game, and he will get on with no outs.
A lot of Prep's hits have been exactly up the middle, showing that they're on time with these pitchers.
And that is Tommy Murtha's second hit of the season. And up next for St. Joe's Prep will be Danny Matthews. This will be his first at-bat of the season as he switched with Jack Sayer in left field just last inning. First pitch to him in there for a strike. Burkholder looking back. And Matthews hits this one, a chopper to second, and the tag out from Wetzel. Matthews out!
Very good play
What
by
a play
Matthews.
over there from the second baseman, Cooper Wilson.
Oh, wow, never mind.
Yeah, that was
My apologies,
Wilson.
ladies and gentlemen.
Did I say
Very good play by Wilson.
I think I said Wetzel. I apologize. That was Wilson, the second baseman, who was able to tag out.
Very good play by Wilson.
Yeah,
Able to
definitely.
tag out Murtha and still make the play over at first.
And up next for St. Joe's Prep, Chris Grasso. And he gave up one run in his pitching appearance. The first at-bat of the season. Grasso takes this one high, 1-0. Grasso, definitely a lot of power as just a sophomore. He is the only sophomore on varsity outside of Cole Kuhn, pitcher that you heard of in the last inning. Grasso takes this one for a strike. It's 1-1.
Yeah, Grasso's definitely looking to get on base in this one. Hopefully putting on, hoping to put on some insurance runs going into the bottom of the seventh.
Now the 1-1 to Grasso. That one off speed, low, ball 2.
Will they go back to Cole Kuhn?
We will have to see. As
They have not been warming up anyone else.
I think I have an idea of who could be in there, but I don't want to speculate. And it is 2-1 now. Grasso fouls that one off. It's now 2-2.
Who do you think it's going to be?
I think they could possibly go with Nolan Cobb, the junior. But we will have to see. Kuhn only gave up one run, and definitely not a bad inning.
Definitely could have gotten out of that inning sooner.
Definitely, and Grasso
But
fouls that
some
one
questionable calls kept him in a little bit longer than expected.
off. 2-2 to Grasso. He just fouled that last pitch off and swung a bit late. See if he can make do with what he's got here, though. Burkholder taking his time, though. Here's the pitch to Grasso. He hits this one high and foul. Almost a catch from the pitching coach for Germantown Academy. Think that would have counted as an out? I don't know. Technically on the coaching staff. Or on the team, I guess you should say. Yeah, that's what they say. And now the 2-2 again to Grasso. Chris hits this one, fouled off behind the Germantown dugout, and that was a catch from the I believe one of the Germantown Academy players. Obviously behind the dugout. I don't want to say that that was the end of the top half of the inning. Grasso now still has the 2-2 count. Let's see if he can get something done with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Keep Germantown Academy out there. 2-2. Grasso. Gutsy take, and it's a ball. 3-2. Great eye from Chris Grasso. And has an opportunity now to get on base. The 3-2 to Chris. He hits this one high, not particularly deep, into right, and this one's going to fall for a base hit. The sun once again getting in the way, and Chris Grasso gets his first hit in his first at-bat of the season.
Looked like the sun and some miscommunication between the second baseman and the right fielder.
And up next, Emilio Inacone for St. Joe's Prep.
Anacone did have a hit in the first inning. Looks to repeat himself again.
And we know that Chris does have some speed coming from first base. Inacone takes that one in there for a strike. Right in the sweet spot as he kind of made a face, and I think he's going to want that one back. We'll see if he gets it, though, from Burkholder, who has given up his first base runner of the game. And that is certainly impressive for being an 8th grader. Burkholder. Ball. Grasso slides back into first safely as it was. They almost picked him off. That was risky. That was very risky. Almost picked him off.
Very close back pick.
Right, almost picked him off at first base. But Inacone and Chris Grasso stay alive here in the top of the 7th inning. Possibly the Prep's last at bat here of this game. Inacone takes that one high, 2-1. Burkholder trying to look back Grasso. It's 2-1 now. And here it is. Inacone hits this one high, and it'll be in the infield and caught to end the top half of the inning by Wetzel. St. Joe's
Prep. Looks like they will go back to Cole Kuhn for the bottom of the 7th.
I'm sorry, it was actually caught by Albert at shortstop, and that ends the top half of the inning. Ryan is 100% correct. Cole Kuhn out there to see if he can close out this game at Germantown Academy. It is 3-2 St. Joe's Prep. Ryan, this has been a great game.
Definitely has highs and lows, but mostly highs in this one. Cole Kuhn returning for the bottom of the 7th, hopefully to close the game. I think this is a smart move.
And
Cole looked to be a dominant pitcher, mostly lucky hits in that last one. But I think that fastball is going to be his key pitch in this one.
We'll see if it is. George Van Deen going out to right field, Kyle Allman going to center field. And that is the
St.
changes.
Joe's Prep looks to be taking a all-defensive approach here.
Fast lineup, I guess you should say. And
a speedy outfield.
Yeah, speedy outfield. And to update the schedule here for the WSJP audience, we'll be back on Wednesday at FDR Park, where St. Joe's Prep will take on Archbishop Ryan, 2 top 5 teams within the PCL at the current moment in time. You definitely don't want to miss that. And we are still up in the air about our lacrosse broadcast at Archbishop Wood on Friday. We will update the audience, though, on that. Next Monday, we will have baseball at Conwell Egan. Once again, 2 top 5 teams, the Prep and Conwell Egan. Sure to be a great one there. And then also next Wednesday, baseball at Cardinal O'Hara. That will be on April 9th. So a big and great schedule coming up for the WSJP audience. But in this one, Cole Kuhn looks to end this game on a high note, as he will try to close this one out here at Germantown Academy. And this one is sure to have the audience listening in here on WSJP with a bit nervous stomachs. First pitch here from Kuhn. Swing and a miss to start to Braden Fornicola. And the Germantown Academy team all standing up near the dugout. This one over the head of Inacone, and it'll be 1-1. Kuhn trying to get things done here. 1-1. This one drops in there for a strike. 1-2. Very good off-speed pitch there from Kuhn. And Ryan, you mentioned the sinker.
Yeah, the sinker and the fastball are both probably his best pitch, followed by the slider. Cole, but all of his pitches are really good.
Right.
I think in this last half inning, we will see that fastball come into play the most, because in that bottom of the sixth, a lot of the Germantown batters were very late on that fastball. Some leading to hits, some leading to fouls, some leading to outs.
The last two pitches were a ball taken by Fornicola, as Coach Buff actually had something to say about that to the umpire, but to no avail. And now in the most recent pitch, a foul off, and now it is 2-2. Here it is. Kuhn pitches this one a bit high, 3-2, a full count here at Germantown Academy. Tension's high, energy
both teams
high.
Standing on their feet.
Yeah, both teams trying to get things done. 3-2. Hit to third. Grasso fields it cleanly, makes the play over to first to Keenan for the first out of the inning. 2 outs to go here for St. Joe's Prep to try and get their first W of the year. And up next for Germantown Academy, it will be George Petarellis, coming into this game a .375 average. And first pitch fouled off a bit late on the swing. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Kuhn, or from Kuhn. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Once again, got him to swing a bit late. The 0-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3 called.
Throws the off speed right by him.
Cole Kuhn, his first strikeout of the inning, and 2 outs, 1 to go here in this game for St. Joe's Prep. Now Charlie Wetzel. First pitch to him, outside, 1-0. And Wetzel hits this one foul. The wind is coming out here at Germantown Academy. And Kuhn, just 2 more strikes to get it done. Here it is. This one high, 2-1. And now 3-1, this one low. Here it is, the 3-1 from Kuhn. That one in there for strike. And Ryan, this is intense. 3-2, bottom of the 7th, 2 outs. Here it is. And now he's going to step out of the box. Wetzel, that being. Definitely have to take a breather, as I think he's now trying to realize the magnitude of this pitch. Here it is, the 3-2 from Kuhn. Swing and a miss! Got him! Strike 3! Cole Kuhn finishes off Germantown Academy. 3 straight outs, and St. Joe's Prep get their first win of the season in an out-of-league game against Germantown Academy. Ryan, what an incredible game.
Yeah, it was a great game, Sully. This Prep team has looked so much different than the team that we saw against Devon Prep. The offense was immaculate. The pitching was immaculate. This whole team was just different in general. Great team. Great game from the Prep here.
It was an incredible game, and I had the honor of calling it with you, Ryan. It was just a great game from both teams, and we will be back on Wednesday at 4 p.m. at FDR Park versus Archbishop Ryan. Thank you all so much for tuning in to today's broadcast. From myself, Ryan Sullivan, my color analyst, Ryan Connaughton, our producer, Anthony Correa, our social media man, James DiGiacomo, and our cameraman, Andrew Zimmerman.
Camera wasn't really.
Well, I mean, photographer, I guess.
Photographer.
I'll say photographer. We say good night, thank you for tuning in, and go Prep.